Aviator Hughes.
Yes,
He
yes.
also participated in the seminar, and he is a phenomenal lyricist here. What's good?
Man, honestly, just blessed to be here. You know, I'm glad for this opportunity. I'm really glad I spit that freestyle that one day that caught your attention.
It
so
was
I can
just
be here.
wonderful. That was at the No No More
Yeah,
event.
yeah, definitely No More event. Shout out to JM Management and for putting that event on.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
So
Yeah. So let's get some background on you before we
Okay.
delve into your talent. Tell everybody where you're originally from, how you came to be in Cincinnati, etc., etc.
Okay, definitely originally from Columbus, Ohio. 614 stand up. But currently I'm here in Cincinnati, Ohio, due to you know, trying to further my education, going to college at UC. And then after that, pretty much I've been down here ever since. So kind of started my music career seriously. I think it's been about like 17 months ago, 18 months ago, like really seriously trying to pursue it. But yeah, like definitely I'm one of the artists that people should be on the lookout for in the Cincinnati area, Columbus area, all over Ohio, and then hopefully over the region. You know.
Why music? Why writing? Why, rhyming?
Well, for one, like music, I feel like it's been in my blood since birth.
Right.
You know, like my uncle when I was a little kid, like when I was really little, I'm talking about like months old. He used to come off his shift at night, which was like he worked second shift. He'll come home. My mom said he would wake me up like when I was like a couple months old and sit me downstairs and play like Stevie Wonder records,
wow,
and the OJs, and just really just play music. So here I am, like a little child, like a little baby, and that stuff's being programmed in my brain.
Exactly.
So like I've always kind of had that influence in that sense, and also like I found out as I got older that like one of my uncles is in a gospel group called the Gospel Keystones.
Okay.
Which they made that record.
I've heard of the Gospel
Sweep
Keystones.
around
Yeah.
your own front door. And I'm trying to sweep around, like, which to me that's a dope song. Period.
Right.
I mean, which is a gospel record, but like the message in there is really, to me, is relevant all across the spectrum. Not even in the gospel, spectrum and everything like that. But definitely, like, music has been a very, very much driving influence.
Who are your influences?
Oh, my influences ranges for. I definitely like Busta Rhymes. I like every Busta Rhymes album. NERD have all their albums. Jay-Z definitely. John Mayer, I know he had his little controversy
but I love
a while
what he
back,
does.
but what he does to me, like, people, I really feel people get it confused with what lyrics or lyricism is.
Right.
Like, John Mayer.
Define that, please. Define that.
All right, well, perfect way to define that is John Mayer, to me, is a lyricist.
Okay.
Like, if you listen to his lyrics, like, that one song, what was it called? Pretty much, like, you listen to all of his music.
I was going to say, you can listen to anything.
Pretty much all his music, he really described a story in, like, almost like in a poetic sense, in a lyrical sense, with like, a lot of metaphors, and, that like, really draws you in.
Right.
But also other musical influences, I love Stevie Wonder. Like, I love Stevie Wonder. Like, my dream is to work with Stevie Wonder.
That's to me a lyricist, meaning his words and the stories that he tells through his music.
Yes.
Let's talk about you. You're from Columbus originally. You're living here now. What's the difference in the scenes?
Well, no offense to,
No, we're real here. No offense is ever taken.
Okay, well, the difference I see is that Columbus is a little bit more progressive as far as on the media side.
Yes.
Like there's active blog sites and websites that are up catering to the music and the entertainment scene. There's a lot of more magazines as far as not Flypaper. Flypaper is a blog site. That's a big blog site that's connected to Radio 1.
Okay.
For one. So they're really big in pushing underground artists and also mainstream.
Well, I want to put out my little promo and shout out. Y'all need to be on the lookout and listen for Aviator Hughes.
Oh.
He's a hot lyricist here, originally from Columbus, but residing in the Natty presently. And if y'all don't know, now you know. You need to check him out.
Thank you for that, Coach. I need that. I need that.
So, we ask 2 questions of every guest. What's your favorite thing about Cincinnati and your least favorite?
I have to say my favorite thing about Cincinnati is now that I've kind of explored the city a little bit more, there still is like a lot of culture in the city. Whether it's like even downtown. What's that place called? It's like around the corner. Grammars.
Okay.
Grammars
I love Grammars.
Yeah, Grammars has been there, I think, for over like 120 years. Like that building, and they still like restored it. there's really like a lot of mom and pop stores
Yes.
and restaurants and businesses here, and
a
a
lot
lot
of
people
love.
like a lot of people support those. You know, I wish they would support the artists and music just like they support
Right,
them. But
right.
you know, there still is like a lot of culture here. You know, a lot of mom and pop restaurants and businesses, and
I call them our character. That's our character.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, like Alabama's. I think Snoop
Ah.
shouted them out like in the record like what 5 years ago. You know, like
Yeah.
you know. So, but I mean, there is a lot of culture here.
Right.
One thing I would say I like the least about Cincinnati is sometimes certain individuals' mentalities, you know, really bring down the vibe
Right.
that
Say
is
it
circulating
again.
around the
Say
city.
it again.
Certain people's personalities are too big when they shouldn't be.
Right.
Really hating or you know saying negative
Yes,
things
they
about
are.
someone else to try to gain.
Right.
But I really feel if we can you know just squash all that, like I said before, come together as a whole. Because I mean, if we want to make this big movement as far as Cleveland, Columbus, and Cincinnati, and Dayton, and Akron, and Toledo, and everybody coming together, each area has to take care of that mentality and eradicate it in their own city.
Exactly.
You know, so I feel like here in Cincinnati, we have to do ourselves, you know, that job and like this new deed of taking that mentality out of our culture.
Right.
Yeah, like one of my main focuses has always been, you know, lyrics. Like I said, I started off listening to a lot of Ruckus Records stuff, Mos Def, Talib Kweli, Black Star, the Common Sense before, you know.
Right.
I may be telling my age a little bit. You know?
Nothing wrong with that.
But you know,
Nothing wrong with
definitely,
that.
definitely start listening to those cats and learning, you know, what it is to be an MC, like
Right.
how to actually tell a story, how to put your emotions and feelings into a song. So from there, it's really just drove me to the artist I am now.
Right.
As far as I feel like I'm very versatile. I can definitely do songs which can have radio appeal, but I can still be lyrical on it and get my point across. And I feel like I have to dumb down,
Right.
you know, saying to get my point across. And I definitely just want to have fun at the end of the day. So with my music, I feel like my brand will allow me to be versatile at the end of the day, not really be stamped or ready to put in a box.
Do you feel like there is pressure to be like everyone else? Is there pressure to be, you know, this assembly line sort of? Hey, Mr. Dean.
And one thing they kind of really told me, like they all kind of agreed on, was like, you know, yes, you do have lyrical skill. Yes, you do have your own sound, and your voice is very distinctive. So that pretty much all compiles to being my own artist and sounding different. So, and they were like, that's really good. They was like, well, you know, we're really tired of coming across, you know, other artists that sounds like Lil Wayne or trying to sound like Jay-Z or trying to sound like T.I. They're like, pretty much it's a breath of fresh air to hear an artist like you. Oh man, like they were definitely, you know, dropping knowledge on me at the same time and giving me constructive criticism, which all of it I'm blessed to say. Majority of it was like really positive. Like 90% of it was all positive. It was nothing really like bad. I mean, there were more or less like, you know, you might want to work on your mixing a little bit better, or like if you want this girl to sing a harmony or somebody, like allow them to find the right key to sing in, you know, like, you know, little stuff like that. But everything else, they really just,
stuff,
but everything else, they really just like loved what I was presenting.
Well,